Welcome to another video. For those who know my channel, you know it's not the type of video I'm doing usually, but I just record this for a good friend of mine and for a school community, which is a full module on how to acquire clients through cold Gmail and in 2025, how to master cold Gmail, where it's a really saturated market, right? So I have nothing to sell you, and this is the warning and disclaimer at the beginning. I just done this for a good friend of mine and for his module, but this video is everything I know about cold Gmail and how to start it really simply. If you watch this video fully, this entire course, in 45 minutes, you can have your own infrastructure and your cold Gmail, everything set up for you to book 20, 25, 30 meetings per month and just start to add more revenue for your agency. So yeah, enjoy this video. Let me know what you think. If you want me to do more like specific business type of video, how to grow your business, and I will do definitely. See you guys. Welcome to this cold Gmail module. My name is Gauthier and I want you to start by this quick introduction. Why should you watch this module? Cold Gmail is the cheapest, automated and scalable way to acquire clients, and it's probably your best option when you're just getting started. In this module, I will show you everything you need to know to get your infrastructure, lead list and email copy within the next 2 hours. First of all, I want you to start by this. Why should you listen to me? I run a multi-six-figure cold email agency operating in both French and UK markets. I've worked with over 60 clients across tech, marketing and other industries. I've sent over 2 million cold email and launched more than 500 campaigns in terms of cold email. And we probably booked around 2,000 meetings just through this channel for the past 2 years, right? And we've seen this market just evolve over time. And this is the subject I'm the most qualified in, heads down. Like, I don't know any other subject better than cold email. So pay attention, don't skip straight to the copywriting session if you actually want results. If you follow this section, I will save you time, money, and months of trial and error. And please forgive the French accent. Obviously, I'm a French guy, right? So let's start with the first module, the infrastructure. And I see cold email with 3 pillars. The first one is the infrastructure, the second one is the lead list, and the third one is the copywriting. And the two first one are really, really important. To get results, you need to get the 3 pillars right. Otherwise, you will never succeed with cold email, right? So the first one is cold email infrastructure. There is basic stuff to know. First of all, you cannot send our email with your actual domain or your actual email, because the risk we want to avoid is deliverability and getting into spam, right? So why infrastructure matters? Most people focusing on building prospect database and writing copy and sequences, but very few talks about email infrastructure. And without it, your email lands in spam and you won't be able to scale outreach effort. This is the foundation of any successful cold email strategy. So to get started with this infrastructure, and what I call infrastructure is domain, email address, and the software that you're going to use to send email, you need to do few research, right? So the market size is really, really important. How much email you want to send, your objective, okay, what you want to do with this, your budget as well, time investment, and target accessibility. And these are variables that are going to be really, really important, especially when you want to create your list and your database. But to most of you guys, if you are a marketing agency and you want to book your first 10, 20, 30 meetings per month through cold email, I will highly recommend you Smart Leads. If you want to do solely cold email and in a scalable way, where you want to do, volume, I will highly recommend you Smart Leads. This is the tools that we're currently using for all of our clients. And you have this alternative, which is Instantly. The tools, both of the tools are pretty similar in terms of, this is a scalable way to do cold email. Lemlist is another one which is pretty famous that allows you to just do multi-channel. So we're using Lemlist where you have a smaller TAM. TAM is total addressable market, and is really, really useful where you want to do multi-channel and reach out on LinkedIn. For this specific section, we will only focusing on cold email. So the most scalable way to do cold email is through using Smart Leads or Instantly. And important, do not choose Mailjet, Brevo, or Sendinblue. They are absolutely not optimized for cold email. And my recommendation for this will be Smart Leads, because it's really simple and everything I will show you in this module will be on Smart Leads. So you have two plans, and the first one is, I think, 39. You can definitely start by this one, but I will highly, highly recommend you. If you want to get actually results, you will see that volume is one of the most important stuff when you're doing cold email. So I will highly recommend you the Pro plan, which costs $94 per month. And we'll do the math later, but in terms of cost per client, cost for acquiring a client, let's suppose you can get 15 meetings through this, convert maybe 2 or 3 from this meeting, you will have a great cost per acquisition. So I will highly recommend you this plan. You get this one if you want to get started, but this is the one I will go. You can send 150,000 emails per month for 30,000 active leads, and is way affordable for just your services and your agency, right? So smart leads is gonna be the tools. The second most important stuff is when I talk about infrastructure is your dedicated email address and domains. You will need to buy new domain and new email address to get started with this. So you have a full SOP here on how to do it, but I will just show you quickly how to do it. And this is exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about infrastructure, right? So here is all the email account we are currently managing. So we have, I think, 569 currently email account, and for every single client we buy 18 email address. So for example, for this client, which called EcoSolar, we just gonna buy different variation of his domain, like 6 new domain, and from this 6 domain we're gonna create 3 email address per domain, which make 18 email address. And I will highly recommend you to go with this infrastructure, which gonna cost you $75 just in email and domain. And you want to buy new domain, you want to buy new email address, and the maximum email address you want to buy per domain is 3, right? So this is why when you want to scale, you want to buy more. And the maximum volume as well, we're gonna talk about this later, about 35 email per email address per day, right? So this is why you need to buy multiple. And for this, I will highly recommend you to use these tools, which is called Zapmail.ai. You will get the link on this document, but yeah, you have 2 main options. Either use SMTP email address, is technical, either just Gmail and Outlook email address. But you don't want to create it directly from your Google Workspace because it costs a lot of money. You have some tools like Zapmail, for example, that just allow you to create easily some cold email infrastructure where you can buy directly the domain and you can buy directly the email. So for this one, I will recommend you this plan as well, but you can start with this for sure. If you want to do the thing properly and you want to book more than 20 meetings per month, this one is the one to go, because 30 Google Mailbox included is already amazing to get started, right? So this is how the app showed up, and this is the tools I recommend you go on Zapmail and you can set up everything. You will see is really easy. So here you have your mailbox domain, and the goal on this tool is, okay, you buy the domain, and from the domain you can create the mailbox automatically from this one. Okay, so for this example, I will just create one new, let's say, okay, I want SaaS Expand, which is the name of my company. We're gonna do some research. It will propose me some variation, so let's see what it proposes. Okay, I will highly recommend you all the time just use .com. So you put your domain, your actual domain, you find some variants like that can be try, that can be meet, that can be get, that can be anything, right? But just some different type of domain. So get sasbuenexpand.com. This one is shit. I already bought so many, so I probably get all of these. Okay, let's take this one for example. Now you're gonna buy the domain right here, so proceed to buy, and now you got a domain. Obviously you can buy multiple in the same time, which makes these tools amazing, because now you have all the domain and you can just directly buy them in one click, right? And no need to go to different tools and buy and set up the complicated stuff. This tool is doing everything for you. So once you select all your domain, which should be .com only, you can just pay and process to buy, right? So your domain will be bought. It takes around like 3 minutes maybe to be activated. And once you have the domain, you can go in the mailbox section right here, and here buy new mailbox. Okay, so here you will have to buy some Gmail, and as you see here, it's just $3 per month per Gmail, which on average I think on Google, when you buy it on Google, is like $7. So you already save $4 per month on email address. And as you want to buy multiple, you save lots of money just using these tools. Okay, so let's say for this example, and the minimum I will highly recommend you to do is just 10. Okay, like if you really want to succeed, you need to do volume. So the minimum is 10, and it will be four domains for 10 email address. This is the minimum, right? If you want to do cold email properly, obviously you can buy less and you can still do cold email, but if you want to get results, I will highly recommend you to just go for 10 mailbox. Okay, so here you can buy the mailbox, and once you process to buy right here, you will go on this section. I think I got a picture on this SOP. You have the full breakdown if you want to go deeper, and once you do it, that can be useful. Where, okay, here we're explaining exactly how it works and stuff. And once you want to create the mailbox, you will have to set up like this, and you can just add first name, last name, username, which gonna be the section before the @ within your email, and here you add the domain. And you can create like basically multiple email address within just one single click and is already set up, right? And so this tools is amazing. So you just have to create the email right here, and then you will get the email directly in your mailbox section like this, okay? So now you already have one of the most important stuff, which is, okay, you have your infrastructure. Then you need to warm up your inboxes, and warm up is probably one of the most important stuff that just comes down to deliverability and is a must. You cannot start to send email directly. When you just bought this new email, it's impossible for you to just start to send 50 email per day. You just will land into spam. So you need the 2 weeks warm up, which I know takes time, and this is why I highly recommend you to just watch this video and do the stuff in the same time as me if you really want to take this seriously, for sure. So the duration of the warm up is 2 weeks minimum, and I always doing 2 weeks with my client. So you can just go for 2 weeks, but obviously more is the better, and the maximum you can go is 4 weeks if you really want to go and making sure you have no issue. Okay, you can go for 4 weeks, but what we find out is 2 weeks is well enough to do not land into spam. So duration 2 weeks, max 30 email per day, and 60% reply rate. What I mean by that, okay? So and how basically to warm up the email. The goal with warm up and what this process is send fake internal email between inboxes and simulate human interaction, improve deliverability before real campaign. So the goal with this is just to send fake email and say to Google, say to Microsoft, yeah, look, we are just human, we are using this mailbox normally. So this is how we look like. For example, this email have been set up for clients 2 days ago, and now just some fake email has been sent and some reply has been directly receive as well. And as you see here, this warm-up process take over 2 weeks. So let's suppose we go on smart leads only, and this is how you have to basically take your email from Zapmail and put them on smart leads. So once you have your mailbox here on Zapmail, you can just select everything. So all your mailbox here, you can just select all of them. They need to be active right here, which is really important. They take usually like 30 minutes maybe to get active, sorry. Now you can select everything, and here you have at the top a button called export, and here you can basically export automatically the email on your Cold Gmail platform. So if we go with Smart Leads, you can just here update accounts, you put your login and password for Smart Leads, and it will automatically plug them into your Smart Leads account. Instantly, same, okay? You just have to put your login details and it will automatically send the email, and this software usually take 1 to 2 hours maximum to just take your email, all your email address, and just plug them into your Cold Gmail sending tools, right? So once you're here, you have another SOP on how to set up the email if you want to go in details, but I will just show you quickly how to do it. So let's say we take this client, which called Geoffrey, French name. Here we go. So here you just select all your email address that has been imported. As I say, it takes probably around 2 hours from Zapmail to come here, and then it will go here directly. You can just click bulk update at the top right here, and here you have all the settings, and you can just update every single email address on the same time. So here, bulk update warm-up statue, you need to activate this warm-up statue. Reply rate 60%. This is what we find works the best, and we highly recommend this. You can activate this one as well, so you just have to tick all the cases. I'm just ticking right now, and here you don't need to touch, and you can already set up your sending settings. So we want to send a maximum of 35 email per day, because this is an asset for your company, and you have to realize that more email you have, better you have, more power you have to get client, right? So this is a real asset, and you want to take care of this asset. This is why 35, you will not see any issue in terms of deliverability if you send just 35 email per day, right? And once you're here, you can just add your signature. So just create it once, and it will upload it on every single email. And this is everything you need to set up right here. So 35, you add your signature right here. You just tick this, and here put 60. And it's okay, you can save directly, and the warm-up process will start. And you can just double check this, where here 2 days later you will see the warm-up start, and here you get real-time update on when the email are ready to get started. So yeah, this is pretty much everything you want. The warm-up process, you can check this SOP here. If you don't use this method, or if you don't use the Zapmail, and I will not go deeper into this, because to my opinion, if you want to call Gmail, you have to use one of these tools, and Zapmail is the best one from what we find out. So just use the tools, but if you don't, make sure to set up all of this, and you can do some research if you don't want to use these tools, but you will save more money by using these tools. So yeah, let's suppose that you will not do this because you listen this video at the beginning, and then you're ready to go, right? You're just ready to start the campaign after the 2 weeks of warm-up, obviously, and get started with this. So the second section of this video, which is the most exciting for me, because we save so much money from this, and this is probably a query and something you have in mind, is like, oh, it costs lots of money to just get email address from Foundr, right? Absolutely not, and I will show you exactly how. So yeah, how we operate, we have the 3-pillar infrastructure, which you just seen, lead sourcing, and then the copywriting, which we will cover in the third module. On the lead sourcing part is one of the most important as well, because it's the people that you will reach out. So they need to fit your ICP, your ideal customer persona, and you need to have proper email address, right? So there's 2 ways to source leads. The first one is pre-built email database, and the second one is scraping plus enrichment. So on this one, and the easiest way and the cheapest way to do it is just to find actual database, because it's fast, easy, cost effective in 80% of cases, and less customization of control. Yeah, this is probably something is like, yeah, you just source your leads from a database, so everybody is sourcing the leads from a database, so people are maybe more reaching out, but if you follow the third step, which is the copywriting, you will succeed over them. And the best example for here is like Apollo. Apollo, you probably heard of it, is an amazing database that you can scrap easily, and I will show you a hack on how you don't have to pay Apollo credit to just find it, right? So this database, this is the go-to, to my opinion, when you get started. And scraping and enrichment, there is for more specific use case. Let's say, okay, you're targeting some just conciergerie, or you're targeting some Airbnb owner. Like, it's gonna be hard for you to find these people on Apollo, or you're targeting some local company, right? So you're gonna find people on Apollo, but less people, and you just want to basically scrap some actual database. So let's say for a client, for example, we already been to Airbnb and just scrap all the people from Airbnb, and this is possible. And then you need to find the email address of these people from enrichment and just enrich these people. But this is a second section which I will not go deeper, because in 90% of cases, your ICP will be already on Apollo or other database, right? And if you want to use Sales Navigator, which is a cool tool, but it's going to be more expensive for you. So to get started, and let's suppose you are a beginner with outbound, Apollo will be 1000% the best option for you. And this is the one we'll go deeper in this video. So before going on Apollo and try to scrap everything, what's make a leads qualify? And most people make mistake about this, thinking, okay, it fit my ICP, so it's a qualified leads. The leads, when you're gonna reach out to him, you need to understand that he don't really care about what you said. He don't know you, absolutely not. The approach is 100% cold, so you need to have a value, like a value proposition that is relevant for him. You know, you need to really talk to him. This is why you need to be so precise on these phases on the lead sourcing, because if you reach out to people just trying to sell Apple to a guy that is allergic to Apple, it will obviously not work, right? So the target precision is important, but the value proposition relevance, to my opinion, is way more important. And then the timing as well is really important. So we'll go directly into Apollo and I will show you this. But before that, if you don't know your ICP yet, and if you don't have a clear vision about, okay, who am I targeting, who am I talking to, who is my client, I really highly recommend you to use these GPTs, which is amazing. You can just start, it will ask you a question and you can respond, and you're gonna have a clear vision about, okay, the company size, the type of people, the industry and everything. So this is a really powerful GPTs that I will highly recommend you to spend a little bit of time with it and just define your ICP correctly, because it will change everything. Okay. So now let's focusing on Apollo, which gonna be the tools that we'll go deeper today in, because this is already an amazing tool. So the first thing is you need to create an account if you don't have an account yet, and you don't need to pay. This is the best stuff with Apollo, is like you don't need to pay. I will show you a trick to not have to pay, right? So once it's done, you just have to go in here, the people section, and on the people section, you can basically find the people. So you have variables right here, industry, on number of employees, job title, and they are the one that are the most basic and that you can use already. So job title, if you want to reach out only to decision maker for SMBs, you will go for the founder, you will go for everything. But if you follow these GPTs, you will know exactly who you're targeting and which job title you're targeting, right? So here you can put the job title, which is going to be the most important. This one, email status, I will always recommend you to just tick verified, because otherwise you're going to have some issues. So tick verify right here, and then you just have to create basically your list. And yeah, this is the three sections that you have to fill pretty much all the time. So job title, location, obviously, number of employees, and industry and keyword, because yeah, it will just match the ICP. So for this example, I just create quickly this list of marketing agency owner on the French market, because we'll reach out to these people soon, and I will go with this. But I invite you to just try to find and explore all the filters. This one as well is really useful. For example, let's say, okay, a marketing team just growth by 20% in the past 6 months. So you probably have an intent to sell marketing services, because you can say, okay, I've seen your marketing pool just explode. You probably want to handle more lead generation channel and just be really relevant within the approach. And again, with this idea of, okay, you need to be really, really relevant in your value proposition. So explore the filters, but this one are the most basic. You take your ICP, you put it here, and you can start to already find some people. So here I will just apply filters, and as you can see, you get all your leads. You can just double check the leads by clicking on it, and here you have a small description on the leads. You know exactly, okay, which company they are, some news, some technology they are using. The technology intent is a great intent as well. Is okay, for example, you can just switch out to all the company that are using Facebook Pixel, for example, or just using a specific website, or the company that are using Shopify, right? So you have loads and loads of good insight with technology. And when you reach out to a company and say, hey, I've seen your website, it's on Shopify, great job, by the way, on the stuff. This is what we propose to increase your conversion rate, or some stuff like this. You become really, really relevant compared to just commodity. So explore this, but on this video, we'll just go with the really basics, which are really, really working well if you master the last part. So here you have the leads and how you want to scrap the leads. On Apollo, you can get just free email access. So right here, you can just click and send the email, but you cannot export them, and this is the problem. And Apollo are just getting really, really bad with this, because everyone can just scrap Apollo so easily. So the trick here is just all the link that you create on Apollo when you put some variables and some filters, that just comes into the link, right? So you have some tools like this one, Export Apollo, where you can just basically scrap all your leads. So on Export Apollo, you just create an account, Gmail and everything. You don't have to pay a subscription, you just pay per credit. So once you're here, you just have to buy some credit. It's cheaper to buy some credit than just buy pay as you go. I will highly recommend you just take 10,000 credit probably. 10,000 credit are only costing 50 euros, which is amazing. And then obviously you reduce when you increase the credit. But if you go for 10,000 prospect, which to my opinion is like, you need 5,000 prospect minimum. If you buy, for example, let's say 10 email address, you need to reach out to 5,000 people. Volume is really, really important. So go with this first, reach out to 10,000 people, and your goal will be to scrap 10,000 people. So on this list, for example, I just have 1.6 people. It's not a lot. It can seem to be a lot if you don't know outbound, but it's not a lot. I really, really, like, if you don't be too specific on Apollo, this is what I wanted to say. If you can just be more broad and find more people, please do it. And you here want to achieve like 5K people, really, really. More people you have, better is. So even if you have like right here 10K and like, let's say you have 11K, you don't want to pay for this plan. Okay, just take this one, and here you can just put 10K people, and you don't have like, okay, you miss 1,000, which is unfortunate, but as you want, right? So for this example, I would just pay for this list just to show you how we work. So here I put the number of contact, I put test list right here, and then you have to select this one. You have to select email verification. You can do it directly from here, and I will highly recommend you to do it. It's just verify that all the email are relevant, because otherwise it will just reduce your deliverability. So if you can do it here, please do it, but you will have to do verification credit. So you can either pay as you go right here, it will create you a Stripe link, or either use another tool. But the easiest way for you to do it is just by ticking this and just pay right here. So Here you can tick everything, and for my example, because I already have these tools, Million Verifier, I will not do it just to show you, but if you don't want to overwhelmed with everything, just please do it now. It will save you time, right? So here I will use my credit because I already have some credit, and just press scrap, and let's see what's happened. Here we go. So the leads are being scrapping right now. It usually take, depending on the list size, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes maximum. So yeah, you will have to wait a little bit to just make sure the lists are here. So obviously, to move forward with this video, I will just show you, okay, once the list is prepared, it will show up like this, okay? You will receive it through your email, and you can just download the list, and this is how cold email lists are looking like. So here you can open it directly with Google Sheet, and you will have your full list with email address and all the relevant information about prospects. So for example, this one for a client was GYS analyst, which is kind of specific market, but here you have all the list basically, and you need to make sure the email are verified. Again, if you haven't choose Million Verifier, like the stuff I showed you right here, you have to do it manually and just verify them. So how you verified it, I will just show you using this tool. Here you can just verify using this tool. It's cheaper basically to go directly on the tools than on the Export Apollo. So you can just upload your list. It will say to you, okay, on this list 52% of the email are good and 30% are bad. So what I highly recommend you is just take the risky and take the good, and from this you just delete all the bad and all the, just this one you just delete them. So from this you just take the good email and the risky email, download good email only, and you just have, okay, now you have your proper list, and now there's just proper email address right here. And if you asking yourself, okay, I'm a little bit confused, I don't understand. For example, I will show you a list if you use directly Million Verifier right here, how it look like and how you can organize with this. Is here, for example, this list, we use Million Verifier right here, I can see it. So this is how we're gonna show up if you already verified the list directly from Export Apollo, and you can just open it, again, Google Sheet, and you will have a new columns where I say, okay, Million Verifier status, up right here, Million Verifier status, and then you know exactly, okay, what's the status of the email address, and you just want to delete the bad email address because otherwise it will cause problems. So you can just here freeze this line and just add data, create a filters, and just delete all the bad. How you can do this? Just by selecting only the bad and delete all of them. Right here, just select everything. You can see there is lots of bad. This is why it's so important. And for those who don't know, just please do it. But if you want to understand why we do it, because we want to reduce the bounce rate on the email address that just kill our deliverability. If we have too many bad email and we send to too many, our deliverability will be killed. So here you have your list. You can just download the list directly, CSV, and yeah, you're ready to go basically. Just save your list, obviously, and we can go directly to the latest part. I just check I didn't forget anything, but this is basically a cheat code, and Export Apollo is a real hack because he allowed you to just get 10,000 prospects for 50 euros, which is mad. And there's company out there that just selling like a list of 5,000 prospects for multiple thousand, and from this you can just get 10,000 prospects, and from 10,000 prospects, which the method I will show you, you can easily get 50 calls and 50 qualified calls in your calendar. So quite amazing. I put you some other example here if you want to explore, but for most of your use cases, Apollo is the best, and Export Apollo, right? So Lemlist instantly, for example, I know instantly you already have a database. Lemlist as well, you already have a database, but the credits are more expensive, and the cheapest way you have to do it, like the cheapest way to do it will be Export Apollo in any cases. So Faro, Job Contact, I just give you some other example. Faro is really good because it's really specific, but really expensive as well. And the latest part about this, and to go back on the Airbnb example I was giving to you, is this is relevant for 80-90% of the market, but you have some database that you can scrap, then in which that become really relevant in some situations. So for example, Facebook groups. So if you, I don't know, reaching out to cleaning services, they are really active on Facebook, you can just find Facebook group and just go and using bot to scrap this Facebook group. So on this, I will not go further into this. Let me try to think about the tools that we're using. You have Phantom Buster, which is kind of like the go-to when it comes down to scraping. You can do everything. I'm not sure it's Phantom Buster. isn't the film maybe Phantom. Oh, okay, no, it's this. Okay, I'm not crazy. Phantom Buster. If you want to scrap this kind of list, just go check on Phantom Buster because there is loads and loads. So yeah, from Phantom Buster you can pretty much scrap any social media, any tool. So Subreddit as well can be an amazing stuff, and otherwise you can just ask GPT to find way to scrap. But if it's your first cold email campaign, don't overcomplicate it. Go on Apollo, export Apollo, and you will already get great results, right? So scrapping, amazing. Enrichment, this is what we already seen, and email verification, really, really important. Again, this is another tools. I use Million Verifier right here, but you can already do it directly through Export Apollo. If you just follow the first stage, you can just tick this and you can pay directly. If you don't want to buy because you need to buy verification credits, you can just pay as you go right here, and it will just create you a Stripe link where you can just pay, okay? So this is pretty much everything from this part. Best practice, again, be smart about where you get the data. For the very first stage, Apollo is well enough and you can get lots of leads, and we are doing this because most of the clients we have, we can definitely do and go and scrap 10,000 people, and volume again is really, really important. So that's good to get started, but then later, if you want to be really, really specific, be smart about where you get the data. And for example, just the Airbnb campaign I was talking about, we just got amazing results because we was going after email that nobody knows, and nobody go take this email because we scrapped from scratch. So this can be really, really important. You can definitely mix technique and yeah, it become really, really relevant. For example, you can go with doing, scrapping Facebook groups and just check on Apollo where the best leads are. Try to find as much leads as possible. Always verify before launching. Never skip intent-based targeting. So this is on Apollo, really, really. If you can do it within your industry, if you have some good idea, try to find this, okay? Founded year, headcount growth, try to really, really find some specific intent that just gonna make you more relevant when you reach out to people. Okay, so here you have the checklist. I'll let you double check this, and I will go to the latest section, maybe the most exciting, the copywriting section. So writing a high converting offer for cold outreach. And let me first of all show you some results and how we get great results for us as an agency and for a client compared to, because we are on a really, really competitive market. So we tend to get amazing results. Let me show you our campaign as a company. So I will just show you the results and what you can expect, right? So these, for example, are two campaigns that are currently running that bringing me maybe 2 to 3, maybe 4 calls a day, right? Like currently, that's pretty amazing because it's fully automated. I have a setter that just handles the reply. So for example, this one just come 21 positive reply, this one 25 positive reply, and maybe I would say 70% of this positive reply just convert into call, right? So quite amazing. And how we basically do it, how we get these results where people are just struggling with outbound and say, okay, that's a really, really competitive market, I cannot do it. Like we get some amazing results on some campaign. And the first things I want to add and I want to say about this is the results are obviously as well coming from your copywriting, but they are coming also from your lead list. And this is really important. First of all, do volume because you get better data. If you send just 100 email and you test 2 variation, you cannot trust the data, right? You need to send at least like 5,000 email to start to trust the data, because otherwise it's too low to take conclusion about this. So do volume is the first thing. And second of all, I will just give you everything in 1 second, and the stuff you need to understand is the offer is the most important. As you probably think, the offer is the most important, right? So people don't buy product, they buy outcome. Don't focus on your product. Don't say we're doing Facebook ads, we set up your pixel. No, people buy outcome, and this is how you can get them on a call, okay? Offer must solve painful, expensive, and urgent problem. More your offer will be obviously solving hard problem, expensive and urgent, better it will be for you, okay? The best offer are specific, measurable, and fast. And if you read the Hormozy book that you can see behind, you know, okay, you need to build an offer that is so amazing that people cannot refuse. And people don't want your services, they want what your services help them avoid or achieve. Again, I will add something that I just forgot on this one is you need to reverse the risk. It's so important. And having a guarantee on cold Gmail is so important because we can say it's saturated, like people receive loads and loads of cold Gmail, right? If you can just prove them with a guarantee and say, okay, you don't have to pay us until we achieve this, people will get this call with you, and you can have an amazing offer, but if you don't reverse the risk for them to take the call with you, they will never book a call. So always have an amazing guarantee. And when I'm talking about guaranteed, how you position it, I will go further into how to write copy, but how you position your guarantee is really important. Like right now, I will show you what we are doing. So oh yeah, I changed slightly the headline, but just to show you, for example, okay, this one is really not good. We get paid only if we deliver results. Like, we get paid only if we deliver results. It's different to say we refund you if it's not working, because when you say we get paid only if we deliver results, people will think they don't have to pay upfront. So you will go on call with them saying, right now we are killing it with some meta ads because we are saying we offer the 10 leads for free. And when you say to people we offer the 10 leads for free, they expect you to just give them 10 leads. But in fact, they need to pay a setup fee before. So this is type of stuff you want to achieve, and you want to just reframe your offer and reframe the way to say it, your value proposition, in a way that people are really interested into it. So really most important, spend time to try to formulate your offer and make sure you have an amazing offer, because I can give you all the copywriting secret, I can give you some icebreaker, some AI stuff that we are using, but where it makes the difference is really into the offer and how you frame it, right? You need to offer something that people want. And I'm sorry to say that, but if you don't have a great offer, it's gonna be hard to perform, even if you're using some AI technique and some crazy stuff, right? So most important, and this is the 80-20 of outbound and even any marketing action, have an amazing offer and have an amazing way to formulate it as well, okay? So this is the formula that you can use in pretty much all the time, okay? I help ICP get measurable results in time frame without common objection or without risk. Like, really, it's just that simple. Obviously, you don't have to use this framework and just like word by word. No, obviously change it, but always just use this framework and say to people, hey, we are doing this, helping achieve this without you to doing this, and we don't get paid until you get results, right? So for example, this is an amazing example right here. You can put as well a guaranteed below and it will work, right? So I think I have some template below that I will show you, but this is our some framework, some copywriting framework. So trigger, implication, pain, social proof, and solution. Start with relevant insight or events, and you probably seen this a lot in cold email, but you don't want to start by hello first name, we are doing this. Could that work for you? No, just say something kind at the beginning. One is working really well for me is I love your energy. If you don't have specific intent, which we were talking before, just say I love company name energy. Okay, simple. You just break the ice quickly. You don't have to use AI crazy stuff. For example, this campaign I was showing you, we don't use any AI or crazy stuff. We have some client for we doing it, but saying to people, hey, I've seen your latest post, your latest LinkedIn post, that was amazing. People don't care. Really, people don't care. They don't have time. You need to just focus solely on, okay, how you can help them. So most important stuff, you can start by, I love company name energy, for example, and just, try to introduce, and don't start by, we are doing. Say about you. Hey, I've seen your LinkedIn, amazing. This one is really you, so don't use it. Try to differentiate yourself. One is really working as well, like right now, is because people know it's saturated. You can just say, I'm gonna be honest, is a cold email. I'm gonna be honest, is a cold email. I'm gonna be honest, is a cold email. And then you can start directly, and just give them a reason to still read it, okay? I'm gonna be honest, is a cold email, but you should read this one or something like this, okay? Just you trigger them by saying, this is a cold email, this is an email outreach. I will not lie to you, I'm not a liar and I don't like this is a cold email, but I found this really interesting for you. Then pitch your offer, okay? So you have here a framework. Pain is really important, and people buy from pain. People don't buy from goals, people buy from pain, just to avoid pain. So just pain, really important to use and to leverage. Like a framework that we're using all the time can be just icebreaker like this, just the trigger. Hey, I love company name energy. By the way, I've worked with this company. They most of the time say that they struggle with XYZ, and we create a solution to help them achieve XYZ without having this problem, and we guarantee our results in 30 days. Had the time gap as well, so if you can say, okay, we achieve XYZ results in 30 days, it's gonna be amazing, plus add the guaranteed, and the guy will be sold, okay? So from this you can just cook with this. I will add some template at the end that you can use, but again, just create your own. If you understand this framework, if you understand just the first stuff where you need to put a trigger, then implication. So you want to at the beginning say like just give them some pain, and then you can just put your call to action. That's gonna work, okay? Social proof, I love to do this at the end, and I think is on the Normozy framework. Is like you just add PS at the end, and you say we work with this client, help them achieve XXX, and even at the end of this email, you can say here is some case study, and just put some line with some results that you achieve for a client, okay? So this is everything about the copy, at least like most like the most important and the basic foundation. I will show you some example in a bit. Key copywriting rules. I will just add as well some stuff here. The subject line, don't go. People are just going crazy with this, putting some big sentence. No, you want to keep it really short to increase the open rate, and like really important. Okay, keep it really short. Don't say big sentence and like crazy stuff. People don't need to expect that it's a cold email outbound, otherwise they will never open it. So keep it really short, and this one are working really well. Question, first name. I know they are used, but they're still working. Like I promise you, most of the time you're gonna think, oh, this one is so much used. No, they're still working. You get a 50% because when you reach out to people saying question, first name, you need to open it, And for example, this one, like the goal with subject line is you want people to take risk if they don't open it. So is company name doing this, doing this. When you say this and you are a founder and someone asks, is company name doing this? Is your company is doing this? Is risky to not do it because you can say, oh, what the fuck is this? So just try to achieve this, make the guy like take a risk if you don't open it, and you will always get amazing open rate. And this is really not a big problem. In fact, we don't even track open rate for our client because it just reduces deliverability. So I will highly recommend you to just not even track the open rate, and then you can start from there. Like you don't need to track the open rate. If you're using one of these and you're using this framework, you can have 40% open rate, you can have 50%, you can have 60%, but it will not change compared like to the most important results will be the reply rate for you, and you can track directly from it. So for that convert, just go check and you can inspire yourself. Take this document, just take some source and take some example from it, but again, just reframe it, because if everybody is using the same, it will not work. But yeah, if you understand the first stuff that I said about the offer, you understand that your offer is the most important, and way to formulate it gonna be just so simple for you, because when you have an amazing offer, it's so easy to formulate it. And your cold email should be your website headline. Like mine is not a great example, but your website headline should be your basically copywriting with a nice introduction and then the call to action, which you should strive for. Let's book a call, let's schedule a meeting. This is pretty much everything about the copywriting. I will add some example on this document at the bottom so you can use it. But this is a cheat code as well, which I provide to you. This is just a GPT, okay, that generate cold email campaign. This one is in French, but obviously is writing some campaign in English. It's amazing. It's really amazing, and we are using it all the time. And I promise you, if you just apply everything I just show you and you work with this GPT to say, okay, improve my cold email strategy, you will get amazing results. This one, amazing, everything in terms of structure, like copywriting framework. So just use this GPT as well if you want to save time. You will get amazing results just from using this. So this is a cheat code if you don't want to spend time, but I will highly recommend you. It's a great exercise to just take a Google Doc, like just blank Google Doc, and just write how understand your ICP and write something for them. Like it's a really great exercise. So this is I will finish just this video by showing you how to launch a campaign on Smart Leads and the stuff you want to do to just avoid deliverability issues. So this is where you create a campaign. You just create a campaign right here. You just import the leads that we just saved. So I will do it right here for the example. You have to map the data: first name, last name, email, company name. You can use clean company name, which is on Export Apollo right here, and then you can directly import. Save and next. It will take a bit of time to just import. Here we go. So right here, you already have the leads. You don't need to verify them as you already done. Then you can write the copy right here using some variables, so first name, last name, email from what you imported already. And then once the sequence is writing, I'll just write here some bullshit. Then we can go on the next step. On the setup part, this is where you're gonna work on the deliverability part. Here you just have to select your sender account. So I will take this example, but just select all your accounts. And then here we go. Schedule campaign at the time zone, at the delay. And on Smartlead, some great features is just the like the IntelliJ categorize reply using Smartlead AI. So you can just save, click, and it will, with an AI, just categorize all the reply. And to show you on my account how it look like and to show you the great results we have, you can just like, it's so easy to manage and it's so simple because you can add some filters right here where you just want this category. So here you just get all the call booked and all the positive reply, which is amazing. Okay, so just set up like this. And really important in terms of deliverability, always optimize email deliverability for plain text, and we want to avoid as many links as possible. The email should be so simple, and we don't put the Calendly directly say, hey, you can book here. No, say to the guy, can we schedule a meeting for this time? Or just say to the guy, are you free next week for a meeting, right? And just let the guy reply and then send the Calendly link. And then you can do this 70%. It doesn't really matter, but this is what we are doing for our client because you can reach out to more new prospect easier. And then you can just as well in your this you can reactivate the out of office leads will be well launched automatically after 10 days, which is a great feature from Smartleads. And then just tick this as well. Save general, and then you're ready to go. You just have to save next and launch the campaign directly with this setting. So hope you find this video valuable. That was a pleasure filming it, and yeah, if you have some question, you can ask them. You will find the resources below with some SOPs and everything I just showed you today. If I recap quickly this module, I would say everything in cold email is about your offer. Deliverability is really the most important. Be careful with this. When you create the list, use exportapollo.io. Don't overcomplicate it. Put your offer on a blank paper and just sending a reach out to the prospect, and you will achieve 20-30 meetings per month pretty much automatically. So yeah, that was a pleasure. Thanks.